Hey y'all, welcome to Right Choice Shearing. This is the first of 8 sheep in this condition. The owners of this flock have been through a lot in the last several years, including a tornado hitting their house, it burned down, losses in the family, and a lot of other life struggles. During this chaotic time frame, they also had their shearer retire. So that means that these animals missed their fall shearing because they couldn't find anybody to take care of them. They did the diligent thing and got onto our list. When I arrived, I anticipated it was going to be 3-minute shearings, and it turned out being 3 to 5 times that on every sheep. We were out there for about 4 hours and removed over 170 pounds of mats. I had to stay focused on what I was doing because I needed to beat the heat and get these sheep on their feet. I definitely had my work cut out for me in this job, but I had sharp gear, no fear, so let's see what it took to get out there and shear. Thankfully, all 13 of their sheep were in really good condition underneath their wool. And for the first of the bad ones, I can't complain too much because she has no matting on her belly. The rest of her body is a completely different story though. The matting in this case is so severe that it has created a shell-like cover. It's an entire task just to break open this hip. A healthy fleece will still make sheets, but it's not one large mat. It in fact rolls off the body of the animal. I try to cut back as far as I can so I can eventually remove this section, but it moves in one piece. The way that mats like these tug on the skin create perfect scenarios for nicks. My gear is very sharp with large gaps, which makes it a skill to not nick even the healthy sheep. So these types of challenges require all of my attention, and that mental drain is exhausting. Shearing was rated the hardest job in the world. In 8 hours, a shearer will burn more calories than a marathon runner. And while shearing one sheep will rely on twice the neurological pathways as someone piloting a jet. This pattern is designed to put out a sheep every 1.5 to 3 minutes. But I've already burned 2.5 and I'm not even halfway done. Speed is about efficiency, not being in a hurry. During our courses, sheep are only allowed to be on their rump for 10 minutes at a time. This is to accommodate for the fact that the sheep spend most of their lives out in a pasture with little human contact, so being handled at all is stressful for them. As their handlers, it's our responsibility to reduce the amount of time they're exposed to this kind of stress. Another popular stress in the Texas area is one of the heat variety. Mammals use energy to thermoregulate or to control the temperature of their body. The more worked up they are, the hotter they run. Like an athlete who's just done sprints. If they don't have enough energy to bring the body back to a normal temperature, things inside start shutting down and it's a horrible, horrible way to die. Since our dance is in the high heat today, I do not care about what they look like. I only care about getting as much off of them as possible. But with every blow of my shears, I'm fighting the tension wrinkles created by the mats pulling on the skin. It's very time-consuming to maneuver that, and that means that I have to focus on just getting the bulk off and not worrying about what's left behind. I'll be back to see these guys in 6 months, and at that time, I can get any of the little frib that I may have missed. Seeing the mats layer like pages will never not get a reaction out of me. It's just a sad story of something that was created to be so beautiful and useful that couldn't receive the right treatment, whether it be because it wasn't available or there were hardships. There is no pattern for shearing overgrown sheep because this is not what's supposed to happen. The condition of this isn't what wearing wool is all about. But the silver lining of this dark story is how beautiful the condition of the skin is under all of this matting. By the technical requirements of this breed, they are 8 months past their shearing date. But this sheep is well fed and overall healthy. She has the energy to wiggle underneath me, and when it was hot outside, she had the energy to thermoregulate. I'm very grateful that she's been a willing participant this whole time. I've been able to remove the bulk of this hellacious blanket. So she's definitely feeling cooler, but I imagine that the weight of all of the mats are now tugging on her skin, and that has to be uncomfortable. There's no pattern for shearing overgrown sheep. There's only a pattern for shearing healthy ones. That means I have to figure out what the curvature of the body is doing and how these mats are affecting it. So every sheep is a learning experience. You can see the patches that form while I'm figuring out what depth I should be shearing at. If I'm too close to the skin, I'm doomed to nick her. I'm stretched out as far as I can be, but I cannot see what I'm working with, and that damn mat is caught up underneath her. We're at the end of our 6 minutes of shearing, and this is extremely frustrating. It has taken us twice as long as usual. But all things do come to an end. And she is calm, so I'm pleased.
I was gonna guess 12.
12 pounds.
I should have said something.
Man, it felt so much lighter. I don't know if it's just really dense. Didn't feel as heavy as some of those other ones we've done.
Yeah.